tonight are on the broad road that leads to destruction. And tonight, I would say with Moses, I would say with Joshua, turn, repent, choose God, serve Him, live for Him. That is the message of God tonight to this great audience of people at Yankee Stadium.
I see revival coming to planet Earth, maybe as never before. It will be untold numbers, and untold, uncounted multitudes that will be saved. The dead will be raised. The arthritic will be healed. Cancer will be healed. No disease would be able to stand before God's people, and that it would be a worldwide situation.
There's a church that doesn't just know about God, they know God. They don't just believe in His power, they carry His power. God will shake the United States of America one last time, not by might, not by power, but by my Spirit.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
There we go. How's everyone doing? Charles, Alonzo, Canado, Lyric, D&D Investments, Diane K, Oklahoma. Welcome, everybody. Great news. Twitter is on fire, and it's just incredible to see all the tweets.
You're so bubbly about it all.
I know, it's incredible. Good morning, Lucy, Maria, Amy, Clover Gang, howdy to you too. Yeah, Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter. Hostile takeover. We talked about this yesterday.
Yes.
And so it's now happening.
Twitter employees are losing their minds.
They are. Everyone's losing their minds.
Beautiful.
Will the CEO have to resign if he doesn't sell? I'm sure that there's going to be a shakeup because he wants to buy it and then take it private. So it won't even be a publicly listed company anymore. Good morning, Nancy, Omar, Charlene, Michael, David C. from the Eastern Shore of Maryland. It's going to be interesting. So let's get right into it, see what's going on.
Let's check it out.
Go ahead.
The WHO, World Health Organization, has proposed a global pandemic agreement that will give it undemocratic rights over nations. They asked for feedback and got so much on their website that it crashed. National sovereignty was God's idea, so no matter how hard these globalists push, they won't succeed. So this pandemic agreement is a international treaty that they want to force down everybody's throats. It's going to be proposed in November of this year, and then if it is to succeed, it would come and be implemented in 2024. Lots of negotiations and debate would have to happen, but I think we have a video for this. Yes, let's see Mr. Tedros spew evil out of his mouth. Go for it.
Is this the one where Alex Jones pops in again?
No, that was Klaus Schwab.
Dear colleagues and friends, as you know, there have been several reviews of the global response to the pandemic with many recommendations for strengthening global health security. They all recognize the need for better systems and tools, better financing, including for global public goods such as vaccines, better global governance, and a stronger, empowered, and sustainably financed WHO. To connect and underpin these ideas, I believe the time is right for an international treaty or other legally binding instrument to provide the framework for a more coherent and coordinated response to future epidemics and pandemics.
All right, pause.
Whatever new structure.
So notice how he said global governance and sustained finance into the WHO. They want to prop this up, and if you look into the proposal, I don't want to hear the rest of it. It's another minute and 15. It's horrible stuff. But the fact that they're pushing this is going to potentially be the framework come 2024, 2025, if it's passed, where this is going to be the infiltration and implementation of the groundwork for international surveillance. Because one of the primary things about this treaty is shared data globally. So then they're also going to, you see all these different states, member states at the UN, like Canada, UK, different African nations, where they're already implementing a mass surveillance state in their own countries. And then you can see how it would easily fold into something like this international treaty, which is legally binding from the WHO. So
would this have to go through our House of Representatives, our
No.
Congress?
No, that's the issue, is the bureaucrats that United States and other member states at the UN would send to the UN, they would be negotiating this, working with their capitals, and then they would pass it. And then nation states would then use this as justification for implementing and going along with this treaty.
I see.
So just like with a lot of different other UN documents, like the state representatives here, they just go along with it because they think that they're the moral superior.
Then it's not legally binding.
It is legally binding. This would be legally binding if they signed on. So for any member state that doesn't sign on, it's not legally binding.
I see.
But for some reason, everybody's granted so much credibility to the WHO and the UN as institution that they recognize these things as legal. So
The United Nations is a joke.
It's
growing up in Africa and seeing them like firsthand in
destroy nations.
Yeah, it's so like
screw everybody over. Africa is like their main target
that's
too.
what they do. They just come there and they ruin everything.
They do.
So, I mean, they do some, they do some good. Some people, I'm not going to say everybody that works there is like that.
Not everybody.
But there are some people who truly want to help people. But the majority of them, they just come there.
The bureaucrats.
And then just party. And I mean, it's like, it's
true.
insane.
It's
insane.
true. I exposed one of them in Tel Aviv, and it caught international headlines. And I'm like, this is literally the epitome of the UN, and nobody believes it.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh, yeah, it makes sense now. Makes sense. Next. Enough of looking at that face. Yeah, accurate. Next. New 2 women at New Jersey's only all-women's prison have both fallen pregnant after having sex with the same transgender inmate. I thought this was just a really bizarre article.
Jeez.
Let's skip it for now. You get the gist of it, but it's a all-women's prison.
The Daily Mail has some of the craziest articles.
I like the Daily Mail.
I deleted their app off my phone
Really?
because it's like things like this where you're like, what the heck? Or like their titles are so like catchy.
Yeah.
That, I was like, no, I can't spend like 20, 30 minutes a day on the Daily
It's like,
Mail.
oh, tell me more.
I gotta read more stock news.
It's funny. Good stuff. Next. Breaking, the FBI has arrested the bird suspected for pooping on Joe Biden. Just thought this was great. Next.
Trump bird.
Next. Yes, dads, you tell them, watch father attend school board meeting in Hudson, Ohio to read off what he found in his kid's library. Go for it.
And I'm not here to
if you have
talk
children,
about
pause.
trans.
If you have children, take them out of the room for about 2 minutes. Go for it.
Gender, queer, non-binary, heterosexual, transsexual, pansexual, whatever it is. I don't care about any of that. What I came here tonight was just simply to read a little bit. So we're gonna get up on Uncle BJ's lap here, and I'm gonna read you a little bit from what is accessible to my 2 boys in high school. I got a new strap-on harness today. Can't wait to put on so you will fit and favorite dildo perfectly. You're going to look so hot. I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside me. So that's that. Then we have another one here. It really never occurred to me you put something in your vagina. not even a
Okay.
finger.
Stop.
It really didn't.
Stop.
You never
I'm
tasted
sorry,
yourself?
everybody. I thought that this video was supposed to be blurred. I'm so sorry. But that's what your children are seeing in their classrooms and in their school libraries. I do apologize. That was supposed to be blurred.
Shut down the Department of Education.
Yes.
This is
ASAP. $1 trillion is not doing your kids any good. Next. Different news. All right, so this is from Mr. Representative Paul's Instagram. If you want some good content to see where your tax dollars are going, being wasted, this is the kind of information you'll get. A supernatural waste, $150,000. The National Park Service spent $150,000 of taxpayer money to investigate supernatural events in Alaska. So this is also, Rand Paul also exposed a bunch of this stuff around like the beagles' heads being eaten and all that kind of stuff. So good content over there. Next.
so $150,000 to find Sasquatch.
Yes, exactly. When he's actually in Saskatchewan. Met him personally. It's my brother. The meltdown if Elon Musk pulled off the unlikely coup of buying 100,000%. Yeah, no. 100% of Twitter would rival the reaction to Trump's re-election. NPCs, beard splainers, pronouners, alphabet people, soy jacks, blue check journos would all be in utter hysterics, would be the funniest thing in years. And we were kind of chuckling about this because it's very true. It would be very funny to see. Next. Breaking an NFT of Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet, which sold for $2.9 million last year, was put up for sale and only got 7 offers from $277 to $6. There you go. Great investment. Next.
Elon Musk's first tweet is probably worth more than that.
Yes, it absolutely would be. Next. Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter in a deal valuing the social media company at more than $43 billion. Continue. We blow this up a little bit more.
Oh, it's mine. Shares of Twitter soared Thursday after the social media platform's largest shareholder, Elon Musk, disclosed a bid to buy the remainder of the San Francisco-based company's stock that he doesn't already own so he can transform it into the world's platform for free speech. I guarantee you he's going to move the headquarters to Texas, too, just to stick it to him. Musk, the techno king of Tesla and founder of SpaceX, also indicated, and real-life Iron Man, also indicated that his best and final bid isn't accepted, he might sell off his stake. In a 13DA filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, it was disclosed that Musk delivered a letter to Twitter on April 13th that contained a non-binding proposal to buy all of Twitter's outstanding stock that he doesn't own for $54.20 a share, which represents an 18.2% premium to Wednesday's closing price of $45.85. The bid also represents a 53.7% premium to the $35.27 closing price on January 28th, which was the trading session before Musk started buying Twitter shares. Twitter has extraordinary potential, Musk said. I will unlock it. With 800 million shares outstanding as of February 10th, Musk's bid would value Twitter at about $43 billion. Let's see what they're at right now. Pre-market, $48.12, up another 5% today.
Nice.
Continue. Twitter said it would carefully review Musk's unsolicited bid and determine what it believes would be in the best interest of the company and its shareholders. Twitter stock ran up 11% in pre-market trading, while Tesla's stock fell 0.9%. Musk had disclosed in early April that he had spent $2.64 billion to buy 73.12 million shares of Twitter, or 9.1% of the shares outstanding, to become Twitter's largest shareholder. Twitter then said it named Elon Musk to its board of directors, only to have Musk confirm later that he wouldn't join the board after all and could instead engage with the company without limitation. In Musk's letter to Twitter chairman Brett Taylor, he explained that his decision to buy the company: "I invested in Twitter as I believe in its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe, and I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy. However, since making my investment, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve the societal imperative in its current form. That's why I didn't join the board." Because with him joining on the board, he would have been at 14.9% cap, and they still wouldn't have done anything that he said. Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company. Continue. Musk said that he would not play a back and forth game and that his $54.20 per share bid is his best and final offer. If the deal doesn't work, given that I don't have confidence in management, so you see right there, I don't have confidence in management, so he's going to fire everybody there in management. Nor do I believe I can drive the necessary change in the public market. I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder. He claimed that was not a threat, just an acknowledgement that Twitter is simply not a good investment without the changes that, in his stated view, need to be made. So I guarantee you what happened is he opened up conversation with them as a board. This is just me speculating. He opened up conversation with the board of Twitter and management, and nobody was like taking him serious.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you know what? I'll just buy this company.
Just watch me, everyone.
I love it. Twitter stock has gained 6.1% over the past 3 months through Wednesday, but has tumbled 34.3% over the past 12 months. In comparison, the S&P 500 has advanced 7.8% over the past year. Continue. Thank you, Twombo. This has become my favorite show. I'm glad.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Twitter will likely accept an Elon Musk buyout after many twists and turns, Wedbush says. Continue. So Dan Ives, the analyst from Wedbush, he, I don't know what he does all day. It seems like he just talks to the media all day.
Hey, that's all you have to do. Why not?
I don't know, Sandra. I wonder how that feels to just do whatever comes across your way. Yep, that's Elon Musk for you. You know what? Let's go to Mars. You don't think they'll? I think they're gonna have to in the end. They're gonna have to accept, or there's gonna be some sort of management. And the markets are open. Twitter 48.18. Dow Jones is at up 111 points. The Nasdaq down 7, and the S&P is up 4.5. Let's take a look at cryptocurrencies before we go back to the article. Bitcoin is up 3.59%, back up over 41,000. Ethereum is at 3,092. Let's see what else. Solana is up 4% again. Cardano 1.8%. Avalanche up 5.4%. Dogecoin is up over 5%. Shiba up 3%. Not too bad. Overall, crypto market is up 3.11% over the past 24 hours. So crypto going back up. When everybody was screaming yesterday about how cryptocurrency is now failing. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, never listen to what people are saying on Twitter or what they're saying in the media. You want to make sure that you do your own research, because what goes down must come up.
Exactly. That's very astute of you.
Thank you. Continue. Wedbush's prolific analyst Dan Ives said he believes Twitter will ultimately accept Elon Musk's unsolicited buyout bid, which values the social media company at about $43.4 billion, but not without a lot of drama. It would be hard for any other bidders or a consortium to emerge, and the Twitter board will be forced to likely accept this bid and or run an active process to sell Twitter. The next step will be Twitter's board officially reviewing the Musk filing, and then get out the popcorn time, as we expect many twists and turns in the weeks ahead as Twitter and Musk walk down this marriage path. He said Musk's bid raises a lot of questions around financing, regulation, and balancing Musk's time as head of Tesla and SpaceX, but Ives believes the soap opera will end with Musk owning Twitter. Twitter stock had run up as much as 17.5% before pairing gains to be up 6.8% in pre-market trading, while Tesla shares shed 2.1%. Continue. Doug, what makes you think that they're not going to accept it? My wife is now interested in the stock market.
Previously, she said this is like the business version of The Real Housewives.
Yeah.
It's an accurate statement.
Let's see what Doug has to say. Doug, if you're still on, let me know why you think that they're not going to accept it. It's still publicly traded. So even though they take money from various different hedge funds and things like that, I think that unless there's another buyer out there, unless like Facebook comes out or some hedge fund or something that says, no, we'll buy it and we'll pay you $60 a share or whatever it is. Yeah, but then there would need to be another buyout bid for it. Because there's going to be a shakeup either way. Stocks making the biggest moves pre-market: Twitter, Goldman Sachs, United Health, and others. We had some earnings come out this morning. Let's see it. Twitter surged 8.2% in pre-market trading after Tesla CEO Elon Musk, currently Twitter's largest shareholder, offered to take the company private for $54.20 per share in cash. The proposed deal would value Twitter at $43 billion. Goldman Sachs shares rose 2.2% pre-market after the investment bank reported better than expected first quarter profit and revenue. Goldman noted that a rapidly evolving market environment had a significant impact on client activity during the quarter. Morgan Stanley earned $2.02 per share for the first quarter, beating the $1.68 consensus estimate. So that's a pretty big beat there, with revenue coming in above estimates as well. The bank said the upbeat results came despite market volatility and economic uncertainty, and the stock rose 2.3% pre-market. Continue. Wells Fargo reported adjusted quarterly earnings of 88 cents per share, 8 cents above estimates, but revenue was slightly below analyst projections. The bank said it would be helped by raising interest rates, but that aggressive Fed actions and the Ukraine war add to downside economic growth risks. The stock fell 3.2% pre-market. Sandra, Twitter wasn't for sale, but that's what they, it's like an unsolicited buyout bid. It happens in the market all the time where a large company or a hedge fund or investor will buy a public company to take it private, or just buy a huge number of shares so they have a controlling stake in that company. Wells Fargo reported adjusted quarterly earnings of 88 cents per share. 8 cents above estimates, but revenue was slightly below analyst projections. The bank said it would be helped by raising interest rates, but that aggressive Fed actions and the Ukraine war add to downside economic growth risks. United Health Group reported adjusted quarterly earnings of $5.49 per share, 11 cents above estimates. Rite Aid lost an adjusted $1.63 per share. larger than the 50-cent loss expected, mainly just from shoplifting in San Francisco. Continue. UPS rose 1%. Western Digital, see, Rent the Runway. All right, next. Thanks for tuning in, Nathan. Have a great day yourself. I'll research it, Canada. I'll take a look at it. I know that, I've read about things like that. I just don't, because it's still a public market, I believe that there's going to be drama around this. So there's going to be, what's going to happen. I think there is a good chance that they might have to sell it because the shares are available publicly. So unless somebody else comes in and buys up the shares. The war in Ukraine is shifting the commodities market. Here's how. Let's see it. The war in Ukraine is having a major impact on commodity prices, especially in the grain markets. Al Cluis, managing director of Cluis Commodity Advisors, Cluis, an introducing broker for Wedbush futures, joined this week's Wednesdays with Wedbush segment on Pre-Market Prep Plus for an update. Cluis was quick to mention that Ukraine is the world's fourth largest exporter of corn, the third largest exporter of wheat, and the largest exporter of sunflower seeds. With production stalled and ports inactive, it is having more of an impact on China, which heavily relies on the Ukraine for corn than the United States. An interesting fact Cluis shared with respect to overall U.S. production: for every U.S. citizen, we have 1 acre, a football field plus 1 end zone of farmland. That's much more than China, which has a fraction of that, from the goal line to the 20-yard line. Cluis went on to detail how other ways the war is wreaking havoc on the Chinese economy. So that because of the amount of farmland that we have in the United States is an exporter of agricultural goods. It's going to have all of this, that we're hearing about corn and wheat is going to have a much larger impact on Africa, the Middle East, and Europe than it would on the United States. Continue. From Cluis' observation, not yet. He commented this week, buyers are still submitting tenders for wheat, but are being very coy about how much they want and are willing to pay. For the most part, they're asking for higher quantities to get better prices and end up not purchasing the full amount, but rather bargaining on price. So he's saying that the rest of the article, basically what he's saying is that we might not see a whole lot of impact this coming growing season, but next coming growing season in 2023 is where there would be more of an impact. So I'm going to look more into this. I've been researching more on this, how all of this would play out, and if there's ways to play it in the market.
So more of an impact in the U.S., you're saying, and
yeah,
elsewhere,
more of an impact in the U.S., but
elsewhere
also in Europe and Northern Africa, because I know that Northern Africa, I was looking at, especially Northern Africa, Middle East, Yemen, I believe it was Algeria, Tunisia, they get a lot, 90% of their grains from the Ukraine. So it's huge. So they have to go to other countries. But then I read an article yesterday. So they are, there's people that are thinking this could be an opportunity. So the Ukraine can't pick up the demand. But I believe it was Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, yesterday said that India can make up for the
makes sense. Yeah.
The shortfall in it.
Yeah, interesting.
Because India is also a major agricultural powerhouse. Continue. We can go to the next one. CEO who fled California for Texas rips ridiculous proposal for 4-day work week. California lawmakers call for a 4-day work week. Why? A CEO who fled California for Texas ripped the ridiculous and absurd proposal for a 4-day work week in the Golden State, arguing that the move will lead to more business leaders moving out. Peter Rex, the CEO of Rex, a technology investment and real estate firm that moved from California to Texas 3 years ago to expand its national business, argued on Wednesday that his company would not flourish under a 32-hour work week. Rex made the comments on Fox and Friends on Tuesday, reacting to a bill in California that would lower the official work week to 32 hours over 4 days. So it's not So it's 4-day work week, but you're not working, 4 10-hour days. Which that would make sense to me if you're going to work 4 10-hour days. When I worked at Geico, I had 4 10-hour days. Instead.
Really?
Yeah. And it worked.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Nice.
Because it was a call center, so we all had like, staggered schedules and stuff.
Yeah.
Continue. The requirements under the bill would only apply to employees with at least 500 workers. The bill also states that workers' pay cannot be lowered as a result of the reduced hours. Assemblymember Cristina Garcia, one of the bill's authors, told the Los Angeles Times that the bill was inspired by the number of people who left the workforce during the COVID-19 pandemic and want a better quality of life than what they had before. She noted that the bill would not apply to workers who are covered by a collective bargaining agreement. Continue. The California Chamber of Commerce came out against the legislation, adding to its 2022 list of job killer bills. In a letter to the bill's other author, Assemblymember Evan Lowe, they argued that the bill would result in increased labor costs that will not be sustainable for many businesses. Rex noted that his company might survive under a 4-day work week, but we are certainly not going to be competitive and won't flourish. I'm actually happy about this because it's another absurd, sort of ridiculous thing that California is doing here that's going to be good for America and good for the free world, because California, as a result, is going to continue to lose relative strength and power and competitiveness as an economy, and people are going to continue to move out because business leaders like myself are going to move out. So it'd just be interesting to see what happens here. I don't think that this is going to pass. And would it also apply to then members of California's House of Representatives?
Well,
because is that the motivation behind this?
Well,
listen,
you
we
said
only
at the
want to
beginning
work
like
3
500
days.
people, right?
Yeah.
That's the underlying point of it all.
But there's more than 500 people that work at the California South. I guarantee you there's like 10,000 people that work there.
Yes. Well,
20,000
yeah.
maybe.
But state reps are part-time, are they not? Yeah.
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 Next. We can go to the next article. Incredible ROI here, return on investment. An NFT of, we already saw this, so that's some incredible return on investment there. Continue. I'd like to see that in chart form. Charts suggest the Nasdaq 100 could reach an important low this week, Jim Cramer has said. We'll see. If he said it's going to reach an important low, it might reach an important high. Continue. Everybody's selling their puts. It's happening. Join Twitter's board? Just buy Twitter. Why not? Those are the thoughts going through his mind. I wonder if he's going to dance when he can
do his dad dance?
In front of Twitter's headquarters when the deal finally goes through. Continue. Something that bothers me is unenforced regulations. Honest people will still follow the rules, and the ones that don't are usually the bad actors gaining an unfair advantage. Example number 1, Kathy Woods says her ARC Innovation Fund will earn 50% CAGR over the next 5 years. Is it? I would be very careful with whatever she says now. Continue. There it is. China's top offshore oil and gas producer, CNOOC Limited, is preparing to exit its operations in Britain, Canada, and the United States because of concerns in Beijing that assets could become subject to Western sanctions. Roman Abramovich.
Yep.
Did you see that?
No.
The Isle of Jersey
Okay.
froze $7 billion. So basically all his money is frozen.
Oh, dang.
So he's worth at the last check he's worth about $8 billion. And so that was like his
Crap.
So he might not be a billionaire anymore.
Jeez.
So it depends on whether or not they're going to freeze it or seize it. Those
Yeah.
are the two, but I think they're probably going to seize it anyway because they got,
They have public support for all of that.
deficits to make up.
Yes.
All right. And due to the getting caught up in all the Elon Musk drama this morning, I don't have any stocks to research, but
you were going to look into that one that they had mentioned.
I was, yes. And I had it pulled up with every intention of looking at it. And then I started scrolling through Twitter. And next thing I know,
Twitter's
it was an hour
addictive.
later. And yeah. So I don't have any stocks to research for you today. But if you haven't started investing, what I want you to do is I want you to download either Cash App or Robinhood, one of those easy ones, where you can start investing. So put $100 in it, put $50 in it, and start looking at companies that you like. So if you like shopping at Target, take a look at Target. Take a look at their financials. Research a little bit more on Target. I'm talking to you, Bethany. And see if that's a company that you would be willing to invest in. So for those of you who watch the show and enjoy the show but haven't invested yet, I wouldn't say this is the best time to start investing, but it's a good time to start learning.
Yes.
To see how market swings, because what we've seen over the last 2 years is not normal in the market, where it just like keeps, where it goes up, up, up. So she says, "Oh, I know all about Target." Yes, Christophorus makes a good point too. The government taxes your cryptocurrency, so make sure that you keep a record of it. What are the things you look at when you research a company? I look at management. I look at their financials. I look at their debt. How much debt did they have? Their free cash flow. Would they be able to weather a recession? What are some of the risks that you see? Should I use Robinhood's recommendations? Only if you research the companies. I wouldn't just blindly buy them. But those are some of the things that I look for when I research a company. I want to make sure is a good, for me, a long-term play. If management isn't invested in the company, I'm not interested. So if there's if the C-suite, so the CFO, CEO, whoever else, if they just wait for their shares to be vested and then sell them instead of holding the shares. I understand if you want to buy a little, if you want to sell a little bit of it, but make sure that they have a vested interest in the company, because if they do, then when there is a downturn or when there is some sort of risk that comes on the company, then they'll have the best interest of the company in mind. It won't just be, let's just do this, whatever. It'll be, this is my company. I own part of this company, so I want to make sure that that's what the C-suite. I want to make sure that this company can go through this the best way possible. The companies that did the best during the 2008 financial crisis are the ones where the owners and the C-suite had a vested interest in the company. So management is very important. You can take a look at management. So what you do is they have it in their forms that they file. So if you go to a website, I don't know, go to Walmart or GE or Boeing or whoever. Those are just a couple that come to mind. Go to their ExxonMobil. Go to their website. Hit Investor Relations. You can scroll all the way down. Usually it's among the when they have all the things that you can look at on the website listed. Go to Investor Relations. You can open up their latest annual filing, and it should have a list of all their management. It'll list their management. A lot of times you can find it on their website too, and then look them up. Or where do you look to see if management is invested? It'll tell you there too, like how many shares they have. All of that is public information.
Justin Myers had pointed out Coinbase is good for looking into things. Do you use Coinbase? What do you usually use? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coinbase does keep track.
Yeah.
They do if you trade on there. But with a lot of like altcoins, the ones that you can trade on Coinbase, you have to keep track yourself.
Good to know.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sandra, just because I have a couple of accounts too. But until there is one where I can do, everything that I want to do, especially with some of these oil altcoins that I'm in, I got to have, multiple different cryptocurrency accounts. I did look into that Zoom wallet. There's some great projects on there. Awesome. And if you'd like to invest in Revival today, we'll give you an opportunity to do that now. There's the hashtag donate on Facebook. Text RT to 50155. $RTGive at RTGive on Venmo. And then PayPal. Cryptocurrencies, if you'd like to donate those. And then also checks, Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania, 15329. And then don't forget to claim your offer, which is a little book of common sense investing. This is more index investing heavy, which is like a set it, forget it strategy. Investing in indexes and then just investing in them for the next 40 years. So we'll send that to you as a thank you for investing. All right, and the markets are, the Dow Jones is still up 134 points. Nasdaq is down. Maybe Kramer was right. Down 114 points. The S&P down 13 points. The markets are closed tomorrow, so we won't have a show tomorrow, but we'll be back with you again next week. And make sure you make it out for Easter. If you haven't already, there's still time to book a flight. There's still time to drive. If you drive now, you can be here for our Good Friday service. So make sure you're here for Easter on Sunday. I would love to see you and love to talk some more. Check the market with you.
You can get a picture with Patrick.
That's right. We appreciate you all, and thanks for tuning in. Make sure you share the broadcast. Go out there and make some money today, and we'll see you this weekend or next week.
Next.